Welcome back to Myth and Facts. Today, we dive into one of the most anticipated Marvel films of all time, Avengers: Secret Wars. The movie is already being called the ultimate climax of the Multiverse saga, but with so much speculation surrounding it, we need to separate myths from facts. In this first stage, we will explore what Secret Wars actually is, where it comes from in the comics, and why fans are so hyped for its adaptation. First, let's look at the origins. Secret Wars is not just a movie title, it's one of Marvel's most famous comic book storylines. The first Secret Wars came out in 1984, a massive crossover event where a cosmic being called the Beyonder transported Earth's greatest heroes and villains to a place called Battleworld. There, they were forced to fight each other in an experiment about good versus evil. This was Marvel's first big event crossover, bringing together the Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Doctor Doom, Magneto, and many more. The storyline was a game-changer, introducing new dynamics and even giving Spider-Man his black suit, which later became Venom. But there's also the 2015 version of Secret Wars, which reshaped Marvel Comics completely. In this modern retelling, the multiverse itself was collapsing due to incursions, parallel universes colliding and destroying each other. Doctor Doom used godlike power to piece together fragments of different realities into a new battle world, where heroes and villains lived in a patchwork universe. This event reset the Marvel multiverse and introduced many new versions of beloved characters. Now, the fact is that the MCU is drawing more heavily from the 2015 version than the 1984 one. We already know the multiverse saga deals with incursions, a concept first explained in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Incursions are confirmed to be leading towards Secret Wars. This means the story will likely involve universes colliding, heroes from different realities meeting, and possibly the destruction and rebirth of the Marvel multiverse. A big myth that many fans believe is that Avengers: Secret Wars will simply be Avengers Endgame 2.0. While the movie will be epic, the fact is that it will be very different. Endgame was the conclusion of the Infinity Saga, focusing on Thanos and the Infinity Stones. Secret Wars, on the other hand, is about the collapse of the multiverse and realities merging together. Instead of one villain like Thanos, there may be multiple threats, including Kang the Conqueror, Doctor Doom, or even the Beyonder. Another common misconception is that Secret Wars will feature only the current MCU heroes. The truth is, Marvel is setting this movie up to bring back past fan favorites and introduce characters from other universes. Just as Spider-Man, No Way Home reunited Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland, Secret Wars is expected to be the ultimate crossover. There are rumors of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, the original Fantastic Four, and even older X-Men films connecting. While not all of these are confirmed, the multiverse gives Marvel the freedom to make it happen. It's also important to note that Secret Wars is planned as the sixth Avengers movie, following Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. Many fans confuse the two, thinking they are the same movie. That's a myth. Kang Dynasty will lead into Secret Wars, but they are separate films, just like Infinity War and Endgame were two distinct chapters. Finally, let's address the myth that Secret Wars is confirmed to be the end of the MCU. While it may serve as a conclusion to the multiverse saga, Kevin Feige has already suggested that Marvel has plans beyond it. The fact is, Secret Wars is more likely a soft reset, allowing Marvel to bring in new actors, new characters, and even recast roles if needed. So in this first stage, we've seen that Secret Wars originates from two legendary comic storylines, with the 2015 version being the strongest influence on the MCU. We've busted myths about it being just another Endgame, and we've revealed the facts about incursions, multiverse collisions, and the chance of seeing heroes from across Marvel history. And this is only the beginning. In the next stage, we'll look at the possible villains of Secret Wars, the truth about Kang vs. Doctor Doom, and how the MCU may be building up to one of the biggest battles in cinematic history. Welcome back. In this stage, let's explore the villains of Avengers: Secret Wars, because no Marvel event is complete without larger-than-life antagonists. There's been a lot of speculation about who the true villain will be, and today we're going to bust the myths and uncover the facts. The first name that comes to mind is Kang the Conqueror. We already know Kang is the central villain of the Multiverse saga, and he was introduced in Loki before taking the spotlight in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. The myth is that Kang alone will serve as the main villain of Secret Wars. But the fact is, it's not that simple. In Marvel Comics, Kang has multiple variants, each more dangerous than the last. The Council of Kangs was teased in the post-credit scene of Quantumania, which means Secret Wars could feature many versions of Kang fighting for control. However, history shows that Kang is often a stepping stone to someone even greater. That brings us to Doctor Doom. Many fans believe Doom is being saved for Secret Wars, and this isn't just wishful thinking. In the 2015 Secret Wars comic, it was Doom who became God Emperor Doom by seizing the Beyonder's power. He rebuilt Battleworld, ruling as its godlike leader. The fact is, Doom plays a crucial role in Secret Wars on the comic page, and Marvel might be positioning him to take Kang's place as the ultimate threat. So while Kang Dynasty will focus heavily on Kang, Secret Wars may shift the spotlight to Doom as the mastermind. Another myth floating around is that the Beyonder will be the villain in the MCU version. In the 1984 comics, the Beyonder was the cosmic entity behind Secret Wars, pulling heroes and villains into his experiment. Some rumors even suggest that the MCU's Beyonder could be a variant of Kang himself, merging both ideas. While this is not confirmed, it's a possibility Marvel could explore, allowing them to honor the original story while keeping Kang relevant. Now, let's look at some of the other potential villains. A popular theory is that the MCU might reintroduce Ultron, Magneto, or even Galactus during Secret Wars. The myth here is that all these villains are guaranteed to show up. The fact is, Marvel hasn't confirmed any of them, but the multiverse gives them the option to tease or cameo these legendary villains without committing to full story arcs. For example, Galactus is more likely to appear in the Fantastic Four reboot before Secret Wars, but Secret Wars could hint at his cosmic presence. One of the most exciting aspects of Secret Wars is the possibility of villain team-ups. Imagine Kang variants working with Doom, or villains from different realities colliding in one universe. In the comics, we've seen Doctor Doom manipulate situations to his advantage, stealing power from being stronger than himself. That's a fact. So it's very possible Doom could outsmart Kang, the Beyonder, or any other cosmic entity, making him the final boss of Secret Wars. Another fact worth mentioning is that Marvel Studios often adapts comic stories with major changes. For instance, Infinity War and Endgame were based on the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, but they left out characters like Silver Surfer, Adam Warlock, and Mephisto, while expanding Thanos' personal motives. The same could happen with Secret Wars. It won't be a panel-for-panel recreation. Instead, it will blend ideas from both the 1984 and 2015 comics, with unique twists for the MCU. So, to recap, Kang is a major player, but it's a myth that he will be the sole villain of Secret Wars. The facts point toward Doctor Doom rising as a central figure, possibly becoming the godlike ruler of Battleworld. The Beyonder may appear in some form, maybe even reimagined as a Kang variant. And while fans dream of Galactus, Magneto, or Ultron, their presence is still uncertain. In the next stage, we'll turn our focus to the heroes. Who will return, who might cameo, and which rumors are pure myths versus confirmed facts. Because Secret Wars is shaping up to be the biggest crossover in film history, and the hero lineup will blow fans' minds. Now that we've discussed the villains, let's shift our attention to the heroes of Avengers: Secret Wars. After all, this event will bring together the largest team-up in cinematic history. But not every rumor you hear is true, so let's separate myths from facts. The biggest myth circulating is that every Marvel hero ever introduced will appear in Secret Wars. While it's true that Marvel wants this to be their most ambitious crossover, the fact is, not every character will have a major role. Instead, we can expect key Avengers, multiversal variants, and a few surprise cameos. Let's start with the current Avengers roster. Characters like Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, and Shang-Chi are almost certain to play a role. Strange is crucial because of his mastery over multiverse magic, which was highlighted in Multiverse of Madness. Spider-Man, especially Tom Holland's Peter Parker, has unfinished business after No Way Home. And Shang-Chi's 10 rings are rumored to be connected to multiversal energy, which could tie directly into Secret Wars. These are facts based on Marvel's ongoing storylines. Now, one of the most exciting possibilities is the return of past heroes. Fans are buzzing about Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, who's already confirmed for Deadpool 3. The myth is that Wolverine will only appear in that movie and not in Secret Wars. But given Marvel's pattern, it's highly likely he'll return, even if for a short but powerful cameo. Same goes for Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Their presence in No Way Home proves Marvel isn't afraid to play the nostalgia card. Secret Wars is the perfect chance to bring them back. Another fact is the strong likelihood of the Fantastic Four making their full debut before or during Secret Wars. With their upcoming film already announced, it's safe to say Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm will join the fight. They are central to the 2015 Secret Wars comic storyline, especially Mr. Fantastic, who often clashes with Doctor Doom. What about the X-Men? The myth here is that the full X-Men roster will be introduced in Secret Wars. The reality is, Marvel will likely tease or cameo certain mutants, rather than fully launching the X-Men franchise in this film. Characters like Professor X, Magneto, or Wolverine might appear, but a full team introduction may be saved for a later project. Let's also talk about legacy heroes. Rumors suggest that Iron Man and Captain America could return. The myth is that Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans are officially confirmed. That's not true, but the fact is, Marvel has the option to bring in multiversal variants of Tony Stark or Steve Rogers. They don't need to undo Endgame's endings. Instead, they can give us alternate versions from other universes. Fans would lose their minds seeing Iron Man in one last battle. Speaking of cameos, another myth is that Deadpool will play a huge role. The fact is, he'll likely appear, but more for comedic relief and a multiverse tie-in, rather than being a central fighter. Deadpool 3 will set him up perfectly for Secret Wars. And let's not forget about Black Panther. With T'Challa gone in the MCU, the myth is that Wakanda won't have a big presence. But the fact is, Shuri's Black Panther and possibly even multiversal variants of T'Challa could play roles. The multiverse allows Marvel to honor Chadwick Boseman's legacy while introducing new storylines. Another exciting possibility is Scarlet Witch. The myth is that Wanda died in Multiverse of Madness. The fact is, Marvel never showed her body, and Wanda is one of the most powerful characters in the comics' Secret Wars events. It's highly likely she'll return, possibly as a redeemed hero or even a dangerous wildcard. So to recap, the current Avengers will definitely appear, Wolverine, Spider-Man variants, and Deadpool are highly likely, the Fantastic Four are guaranteed, and legacy heroes like Iron Man and Captain America may return as variants. The X-Men might get teased but not fully introduced, and Wanda's return remains one of the biggest mysteries. In the next stage, we'll dive into how the multiverse itself will shape the events of Secret Wars, Battleworld, incursions, and the merging of timelines. This is where things get truly epic, and we'll uncover which parts are myth and which are fact. We've talked about the heroes and villains, but now it's time to focus on what makes Secret Wars truly unique, the multiverse itself. This is not just another crossover, it's the collapsing of entire universes into one battlefield. But let's clear up the myths and get to the facts about how Marvel is setting this up. One of the biggest myths is that Secret Wars will take place across multiple universes like we've seen in Loki and Multiverse of Madness. In reality, the comics and insider reports suggest that all these universes will collide into one domain known as Battleworld. This is a massive patchwork planet created from fragments of destroyed realities, where heroes and villains are forced to coexist. If Marvel follows this, the film won't just jump between universes. It will merge them into one giant stage. So how does this happen? The fact is, Marvel has already laid the groundwork with the concept of incursions. Remember in Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, when it was explained that two universes colliding leads to one or both being destroyed. That's an incursion. Kang the Conqueror, as revealed in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and Doctor Doom in the comics, both play huge roles in triggering incursions. By Secret Wars, we can expect multiple incursions that collapse the multiverse into chaos. Now here's another myth, that Battleworld will be a simple battlefield with random fights. The fact is, in the comics, Battleworld is a complex patchwork where different regions are ruled by different characters. For example, Doom ruled over much of Battleworld, while other regions were dominated by villains or alternate versions of heroes. If Marvel adapts this faithfully, we might see Spider-Man variants ruling one zone, Wakanda in another, and maybe even cosmic areas controlled by Galactus or other entities. Another key detail is how Marvel could use Battleworld to reset or reshape the MCU. The myth is that Secret Wars will be just another Avengers movie. The fact is, this film could serve as a soft reboot. By merging universes, Marvel can bring in characters from Fox's X-Men films, Sony's Spider-Man universe, and even variants of heroes like Iron Man, without breaking continuity. It's Marvel's golden opportunity to streamline everything into one cohesive universe moving forward. Let's also talk about the Beyonder. In the original 1984 Secret Wars comic, the Beyonder was the cosmic being who orchestrated the battle, pulling heroes and villains into his constructed world. The myth is that the Beyonder will appear exactly as he did in the comics. The fact is, Marvel may adapt the character differently, possibly tying him to Kang or Doom. Some theories even suggest that a Kang variant could be revealed as a Beyonder-like figure. Another myth is that Secret Wars will only focus on Earth's heroes. The fact is, cosmic elements are likely to play a huge role. Characters like Captain Marvel, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and possibly even the Celestials could factor into the merging of universes. Remember, the multiverse doesn't just cover Earth, it spans every dimension, planet, and timeline Marvel has introduced. Now, about the ending of Secret Wars. Fans speculate it will simply wrap up the Kang Dynasty storyline. But the fact is, it could be much more significant. In the comics, the end of Secret Wars led to the creation of a brand new Marvel universe. That means the MCU could use this event to close the current saga and open the door for the mutants, the Fantastic Four, and new Avengers teams without being tied down by 15 years of continuity. So here's what we know. Secret Wars will likely feature incursions collapsing universes, leading to the creation of Battleworld. Doom or Kang could rule over this world, with zones divided among different factions. The Beyonder may appear, either as a new character or reimagined through Kang. And ultimately, this film could reset the entire MCU for the future. As you can see, the multiverse isn't just a backdrop, it's the very heart of Secret Wars. It's both the playground and the weapon, and how Marvel chooses to use it will determine the future of the franchise. In the final stage, we'll tie everything together, heroes, villains, and the multiverse, to reveal how the myths and facts of Secret Wars point toward one of the most epic cinematic events ever created. We've explored the heroes, villains, and the multiverse itself, but now it's time to bring it all together. Avengers, Secret Wars isn't just another Marvel movie. It's shaping up to be the ultimate cinematic event. But to truly understand its impact, let's recap the myths and facts we've uncovered, and what it means for the future of the MCU. First, the heroes. The myth is that every single Marvel character will return for Secret Wars. The fact is, while not everyone will appear, we will see a carefully chosen lineup. Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Shang-Chi, and Shuri's Black Panther are all but guaranteed. Add to that the Fantastic Four's debut and Wolverine's return, and you have the makings of Marvel's biggest roster yet. Nostalgic cameos like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and possibly Iron Man or Captain America variants are very possible, but not guaranteed. Next, the villains. The myth is that Kang will be the sole antagonist. The fact is, Kang is central, but Doctor Doom is likely to rise as the bigger threat. Doom's presence would honor the comics and set up the MCU's next saga. The Beyonder, or a reimagined version of him, could also appear as the cosmic puppet master behind it all. This creates a layered conflict with villains clashing not only against heroes but also each other. Then comes the multiverse. The myth is that Secret Wars will just be another multiverse adventure like Loki or Multiverse of Madness. The fact is, it's much bigger. Incursions will collapse entire universes, creating Battleworld, a patchwork planet where different domains are ruled by different factions. This allows Marvel to bring together characters from across its cinematic history while also setting the stage for a soft reboot of the MCU. Now let's address some of the wildest fan theories. One theory suggests that Deadpool will be the one to break the fourth wall and explain the multiverse to the audience. While fun, the fact is he's more likely to play a smaller, comedic role rather than leading the story. Another theory claims that Secret Wars will permanently bring back Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. The reality? Variants may appear, but Marvel won't undo their endgame endings. Expect cameos, not permanent returns. What about the X-Men? The myth is that Secret Wars will introduce the entire team. The fact is, Marvel will likely tease them or show a few key members like Professor X, Magneto, or Wolverine, but a full X-Men reboot will come later. The same goes for Galactus, rumored to appear, but more likely saved for the Fantastic Four storyline. So, what does all this mean for Marvel's future? Secret Wars will likely end with the merging of universes, creating a single, streamlined reality. This means characters from Fox's X-Men movies, Sony's Spider-Man films, and the current MCU can all coexist moving forward. It's Marvel's way of cleaning up continuity while delivering the ultimate fan service event. And here's the biggest fact: Avengers: Secret Wars is not just about battles. It's about legacy. It's about celebrating nearly 2 decades of Marvel storytelling while paving the way for the next generation. Expect heartbreak, shocking deaths, emotional reunions, and a finale that reshapes the Marvel Cinematic Universe forever. So to wrap up, the myths claim Secret Wars will bring back every hero, feature only Kang, and end the multiverse once and for all. The facts show us it will be a careful blend of returning icons, multiple villains, a Battleworld setting, and a soft reboot of the MCU. This is the movie that will define Marvel for the next decade. Now the only question left is, are we truly ready for the end of the multiverse as we know it? Because once Secret Wars begins, nothing in the Marvel Universe will ever be the same again.